Hello, welcome to another day in the life of TLE. It's been a few days since I've taken time to do a video, so I wanted to jump back in and just get some stuff out. I went out today. I actually went to church this morning. A friend of mine had recommended a church in the area, and church is a big thing for me right now because I am not sure which direction I want to go in. I'm also a bit apprehensive about jumping in and committing to things right now. It's a pretty intense and scary thing. That may sound weird, but that's the reality for me. And I'm trying to find my way as it relates to what's right for me right now. And yeah, so that's a journey on top of the journey that I have already. I think the last video that I did, I was just talking about being aggressive and expressing what you want, and being cognizant of your vulnerabilities and your limitations. And today I want to talk about the importance of fine-tuning your support team and just guarding your heart and your mind and the things that you take in, and not only talking about them but also expressing that while you may know that that's important and you may actually also work towards maintaining that, it's still a process, and you will continue to have to work towards maintaining that unless you're a very disciplined person. And I say that for a few reasons. One reason is because some people that you may have had in your circle or very close to you, you'll learn that when or during certain times that you may or may not be able to tolerate. I'm going to use that word for lack of a better word, but you may not be able to tolerate some of the things that they may do or say, or just their lack of knowing how to support or encourage or be there. So there are some support groups for caretakers and people who are going through certain type of illnesses, and I encourage you to take advantage of those too, because relationships will definitely be challenged, rocked. Some may even be severed as a result of the disconnect, and that's a good word to use because there is a disconnect. There will be people who want to help but can't help, or feel like they don't know what exactly do to help, so they may be standoffish, or some people may actually be too clingy, and all of which can be it can be uncomfortable. And so it is important to kind of know what works for you, know what you can handle, and communicate as much as you possibly can on what's important and what works for you. And even if the person doesn't always understand or get it, put it out there. And again, if you need to take advantage of groups and or sessions that are geared towards bridging the gap, you should do that and take advantage of those. So I'm going to go back a little bit because I wanted to tell a story. And this is something that happened really recently with me and within the last few days. I have a friend who at times, um, the friend is very helpful, but at times the friend is very hurtful. At times I feel like sometimes the friend makes cheap shots or says things that are insensitive and or make comparisons to my illness or what she thinks that I should or should not be doing, or it's just always something coming from left field with her. And I have to be really careful about opening myself up to that, because the energy that goes into that and trying to figure it out and understand why that keeps happening, it's just a lot of energy that I do not have to offer at this time. And so I've been really thinking about like how I want to address slash handle this situation, because I feel like it has taken too much, and I feel like if I continue to leave the door open, things will continue to happen. And so while I haven't always been vocal about some of the things that I clearly see at this point, and I didn't always see them, but I see them now. I am making an effort, and I did make the effort after the incident that just happened, to communicate how I felt. And before I could even communicate that, the person apologized, and which was really good. But on the flip side, I'm also encouraged to take care of the space that I'm in and protect my space. I can't control anyone else's space. I can only control mine. And this is something that has been ongoing. And I have reached a place where I think I've maxed out. And so I think it's time to make some changes. And I feel like sometimes you can say things to people, and over time, because some things takes time to implement, especially if a person's behavior is a certain way, and or they're so used to responding and doing certain things with you because that's how you've done things in the past. So sometimes it takes a little time to get out of that groove, and or check yourself as an individual when someone has made you aware of something. And I know that I have had to check myself slash be reminded of things that friends have told me that they were a bit sensitive about, or things that they told me that they didn't necessarily like my approach to. And so because I cared about that relationship and them, I made efforts and I made mental notes, as well as I was very intentional about making sure I honored what they had told me. And so I said all that to say that it comes a point in time in life where the first honor comes from within. You have to honor yourself, and then the second honor comes from the space around you. So the people around you, the people that you go around, or whatever the case may be, that needs to exude from inner first, and then to those around you. And I said that to say that if a person cannot respect your space and honor the things that you have communicated to them, then they probably shouldn't be in your space. And while so many times we make excuses, or we give second chances, third chances, 59th chances, however many chances we choose to give people. And I'm a person who is ordinarily forgiving, and over time I tend to get past things, because life is full. Like, who has time to calculate and keep up with all the stuff that doesn't always rub you the right way? So I am at a point where I think it's important to put some distance and respectfully put distance um, in the relationship, because it's just not helpful. I've, spent the last couple of months communicating some of my needs and um, some of my limitations and some of the struggles that I've encountered as a result of treatment, and just cognitively, physically, emotionally, and even spiritually. And I've done this countless of numbers of times, as well as, had very long conversations about, this is what works for me, this is my love language, this is what is helpful, and to no avail. Like 97% of the time, this friend does something on the other end of the spectrum. And I've tried to be patient with it, and I've tried to ignore it as much as I guess possibly could. But it's too much. It's too much of a burden to carry, and it's not worth it. And I think you have to make that determination for yourself. Is it worth it? Is this worth it? Is he worth it? Is she worth it? Is the issue worth losing a relationship over? You have to answer all those questions. Is the issues, because there could be multiple ones, worth it? All those things are very important when you're making decisions. And then the other thing is, while you may not discontinue the relationship indefinitely, you may have to do it for a while, and when you get better, when I get better, jump back in if that person is willing to, accept that, because it's a two-way street. So here I am. That's what I wanted to talk about. I'm not going to make this a really long video because it takes a very long time to upload. And until next time, thank you.